Hello and welcome back to the Kimball Hooker Show here in Los Gatos and Montessorino. We have a special guest today. You guys are in for a treat because we don't normally have a harp player, an actual live harp player. So today we want to welcome the beautiful and talented Destiny Muhammad, and she's going to talk about how she got started, where she's from, and let's just dive right on in because I'm excited. Destiny,
Kimball,
how you doing?
mighty good. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. It's good to see you. Your smile is so bright. It's brightened up all the Los Gatos and everywhere else. You can't help it. It's infectious. I love it. I love it. So I love your name. I want to talk about, is that your real name?
That's my real name.
I love it. That's
Thank
beautiful. I love that name. How did Destiny get started?
When I was a little girl growing up in Compton in the early 70s, we had just moved from Okinawa, Japan to Compton. And so a big culture shock. And my parents had divorced on the airplane. Hit Compton, I know, right? Hit Compton, and we're at my auntie's house, my two younger sisters and my mom, and trying to figure out life. So my mother and aunt sent us to the den, and I'm watching an episode with my cousins of I Love Lucy. And there's Harpo Marx on as a guest on I Love Lucy. And I said, that's what I want to do when I grow up. And I go and tell my mom that's what I want to go do. And she gave me some explicits. I'm trying to,
Oh my goodness.
because she trying to figure it out. My mother was a single black woman,
Right.
not with three young girls. And so she trying to figure it out. She didn't mean to, but that's what she let me have it.
Wow.
So we fast forward, we moved from Compton to a little town called San Pedro, which is just south of Compton. And we're living in the projects trying to figure out, going through the whole welfare yada. And 1992, I get my first harp at the age of 30.
Oh my goodness.
I get my first harp at the age of 30. And if you had a saw my life in between that would have been the last thing that would have been expected to happen. However, I was a barber. I had a barber shop in San Pedro. We figured out that you got to work if you go eat. So I became a barber and thought that was going to be my life. The money was good clients, yada. I started dating a man whose best friend is a harp builder in San Juan Bautista, not too far from here. And I got my first harp at the age of 30 in 1992.
Oh my goodness. You see how things work? You see how things, that was a blessing.
Yo,
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. And how did you learn, like, to develop the ear and the talent to play that particular instrument?
Oh, how do you learn? The desire has to be on fire. And I had some wonderful teachers who, especially in that early stage of my harp development, because I will share with you, I'm almost 62 physically, but only 32 as a musician. So you figure I start out at 1.
You look beautiful, I might add.
You know, hashtag don't crack. I'm just going to leave that right there.
I understand.
So I had two wonderful teachers who were the catalysts. One was a woman by the name of Paula St. John who lived in Long Beach. And I would actually drive to her house in Long Beach, which was about 10, 20 minutes from me. And I would go to her house at 7 in the morning to have a 7 to 8 o'clock morning lesson. And then I would come back and open up my barber shop by about 9:30, 10.
Hustling.
Hey, man.
Ooh, I hear it.
See, to me, that's what the hood is about. You learn to hustle because you got told.
Right.
So, and then later on, I started studying with a woman by the name of Stephanie Kaufman Osborne. She's off Kaufman Osborne now. And it was teaching out of a place called Muse in Palos Verdes, California. Again, about 20 minutes from where I live down in San Pedro. And Paula was fierce. And Stephanie was no nonsense. I came to Stephanie, here I am, 30 years old. She said, and how old are you? I said, I'm 30. And she said, and what are you trying to do? I said, I'm here to study and learn to play the harp. She said, I usually don't mess with the old ones because they don't stick. Now,
Oh,
mind
my
you,
goodness.
hello, let me tell you. And Stephanie was 29 and bet. Now, fast forward, understand why she said that. Because one of the things I understand being a teacher is that there's portions of ourselves that we implant in the student. And when the student quits, it hurts. Many teachers won't even say anything, but there's a little pain there because we can just see when that breakthrough is going to happen. And if the individual quits for whatever reason, it's painful.
Right.
And we may not say that. But Stephanie was no nonsense. She said, "Oh, you here?" She said, "Okay, so this is the deal. Harp lessons in 1992 from her were $15 for 30 minutes. I had to pay the whole month. This 92. I had to pay the whole month in advance. If I missed a lesson or was late, it didn't roll over to the next month. I better figure out."
Discipline.
Dude.
Ooh, from within.
Ha.
I hear it and I see it.
Well,
I feel it. I feel it.
She was not. I was late one time, and I was 15 minutes late. She looked at me and she said, "You gonna figure that out," and walked away.
Oh my goodness. So you had to want it. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Stephanie Kaufman Osborne is still a mentor, friend, colleague, cheerleader.
Right.
And she shared with me, her and her husband and now her children come up to see me, and they said, "We are so proud of you." I was her oldest student. The next one after that was about 15. The one after that was about 10, 7, and then the last one was in Huggies.
Wow.
You feel me?
Babies.
Right? And here we were having a recital, and here all of their grandparents and cousins, mamas, and them was in the audience, and it was, at that time, my boyfriend, my best friend Ginger, and my mom cheering me on as we learned Twinkle Twinkle.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. I love Twinkle Twinkle because of the lessons that are within it. So that's a little bit of my origin story, if
That's
you will.
a lot of it. Oh my goodness, you broke it down. That's what I was looking for too.
Oh.
Just for everyone that's listening, I've known Destiny for a long time.
Ooh, at least a decade.
At least a whole decade.
Mm-hmm.
My little sprinkle is I did play
Yep.
drums with her for a little
Yep.
bit. I know she remembers that.
Oh, yes, here we were. I remember we did Off the Grid, San Francisco, when it was at the Chronicle building in San Francisco. We did the Off the Grid, and then we did a Giants. The Giants had
my goodness.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
We did a Giants party. And then I think we did one other thing that I remembered. I remember that Giants party that we did because I think we had to play for about 5 hours.
Oh my goodness. It was a big experience. They escorted us to the restroom and to food and all.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm playing jazz.
Right? No.
You know what was so amazing about that? I was playing and I was so in awe of you because I had never played with a harpist before. Never. And I said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And all these famous people. And the experience was huge.
It was huge,
But
for
one
me.
thing I loved about with you though, you made it feel so comfortable, the environment for me, the experience.
Yay.
I just have to say that for the camera.
God bless you.
And a lot of times being a musician is the communication that you have with the other band members. And so for my first time playing with a harpist was like, are you kidding me? It was like, come on, baby. Come on, baby. We got you this way, right over here. That's right. Don't fall now. So, but getting back to you, I want to dive into what area? You're in the Bay now, right?
Yes, Oakland.
Oakland. How's Oakland treating you?
Woo! Oh, you know what? I love Oakland because Oakland, again, is no nonsense. You
Right.
better bring it or get off the pot.
And they'll let you know.
Yo.
Right. Real quick. Woo. It's a tough city. It's tough. It's a lot of competition there. A lot of musicians. I'm sure not a lot of harpists, but a lot of
there
a lot of
are.
music. Really? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
There are a lot of harpists. I often say when a client calls me up and we're having a conversation about who I am, what I'm going to bring to the table, or what their desire is, and I let them know that there are 10,000 harpists, and I'm probably either overestimating. I know at least several of us, and we're all out here doing amazing work based on who we are. And I share with them, you could call any myriad of us because we're all going to bring it the way who and what we are. However, if you called this number, there was something specific that you wanted.
Right.
And that's based on who Destiny Muhammad is evolving in this moment.
Right. You ain't no joke. You no nonsense with that harp. I'm serious. How did harpists from the hood? Talk to me about that. That's a very distinct, direct name. You can't miss it. It's direct. It says a lot, and you have to understand it. Talk to me about it.
As I shared with you, I'm from Compton. I'm from Compton. I'm from Kendrick Lamar's Compton.
Wow.
Ain't like us,
Say
Compton.
it. Say it.
And so what I learned about those early years of growing up in the hood is that was a training ground. You feel me? That was a training ground. My folks, sometimes I was around generations of folks that had only know hoodness.
Right.
And so I had to boss up if I was going to be around them. And so we fast forward, moving from Southern California to Oakland. I literally started, as I shared my harp journey at 30. When I moved to the Bay Area in 94, 95, 96, I started to hit the farmers markets. And I mean, I was playing every farmer's market just to get, one, my chops up, two, and to get my name out there, but to build my chops and my confidence as a musician. Like you said, there are 10,000 just harpists. We ain't even talking about the myriad of musicians. And so I'm out at the farmer's market, and by this time I've got my sound, a little bit of a sound sister with me. My husband, we've met, and we kind of cuddled up with one another. And he says, you have to treat the farmer's market like it is the real stage. You can't treat it like it's some one-off. You have to treat it like the place where you want to be. And so when he shared that with me, he said, go around to the farmers and find out what they have. What is it that they have an abundance of that they're really trying to hurry up and sell? And he said, you're going to treat, because you know the farmer's market, you got to do 4 hours.
Right.
So he said, create that set list for yourself and have a opening and a closing. So I'm closing out my set. I'm at the Jack London Farmers Market. He said, good gratitude day, fam. I'm here at the Jack London Farmers Market. Meets every Sundays, rain or shine, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we have purple Peruvian potatoes and cosmetically challenged tomatoes. And
she got it down.
You know. And my name is Destiny Muhammad. I'm your friendly neighborhood harpist from the hood, letting you know it is all good here at the Jack London Farmers Market.
Wow. And
it stuck. And it felt good. And folks laughed at first. They said, harpist from the hood? Nuh-uh. I was like, yes, I'm originally from the hood. I said, and I'm transforming even that energy so that I can work, but not allowing the lessons to not assist me in moving to the next level of where I want to go.
Right.
And so feeling as though often the opportunity is the language of being able to code switch and without cussing someone out directly about their poor behavior towards myself. So we're not going to do that today. And give them only the look that lets you know that I'll share this with you. One time I was looking at my husband and I said, what's that in your left eye? He said, you don't want to know.
Wow.
Feel me?
Right.
And so the lessons of the hood have such realness, and the ability to translate them into any environment is powerful for me. And I don't want to negate those lessons and opportunities, and also being able to acknowledge the folks that I grew up with who physically are no longer here because of some horrific tragedy that threw them into the ancestor realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My father used to say, don't defeat yourself.
Word.
So much competition out there, and then there's so many people out there that just dismiss who you are. The roads you've traveled, where you're headed. Only you know what you know.
Yes.
And what's for you is for you.
Which goes back to even the word of competition. I go back to what I said before. There are 10,000. You could choose your myriad of who you want if you called this number.
Right.
If you sent me an email, you wanted something specific.
Right. Right.
I just happen to be blessed to play this instrument.
Right. Who were some of the people that you looked up to? Did you have any, I don't like to say idols, but anyone that you looked up to, like, wow, I really like the way they play?
At least I'll name the two ancestors for me, Dorothy Ashby and the Alice Coltrane. Or to me, I call them my heart moms. So I wouldn't call them idols. They are my mommies, my mothers, and what they both brought to the table based on who they said they were in the moment. Those things inspired me. I'll share this about Alice Coltrane. I had probably only been playing a pistol click of a minute, and I was with a boyfriend of mine. And he had a friend who was the jazz aficionado. For those of you out there, you know the jazz aficionado. They probably don't play nothing but the knob on the radio. However, they know what jazz is and what it isn't. And so we happened to be at this person's business, and Alice Coltrane was blazing on the radio playing Blue Nile. I didn't know what it was, but it's the first time I'd heard her. I was like, oh my God, who is that? And so the gentleman who was there, he said, oh, that's Alice Coltrane. And so this gentleman that I was with, he said, oh, well, my girlfriend, she played harp. I was like, shut up. I only been playing 10 minutes. And so this man who was the jazz aficionado happened to be a tall man. He looked down at me and he says, if you can't play like that, you can't play.
Wow.
I just had to swallow it. I said, right now I can't play. I can't, but I'm going to find out more about her.
Right.
And figure out, what do I need to know? How can I embody the messages that she has in that music so that I can?
Right.
Same thing with Dorothy Ashby. Someone had sent me her cassette, not cassette. Excuse, ooh, I went back. It was her CD, and it was Dorothy Ashby, the jazz harpist. And I was. You know how we do, you put a CD on, at that time, put a CD on, I think I'm going to go clean the house,
right.
And music. Shoot, she went, burp, 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 and I moonwalked back. I was like, all righty then,
right.
What you doing?
Got your attention, huh?
Got my attention. Those are my heart moms.
Right.
Those are my heart moms because they were speaking the language to my spirit based on this instrument. There are other harpists. Ann Adams, who became one of my former principal harpists for the San Francisco Symphony, ancestor. Deborah Henson Carter, who's out there doing beautiful work as she is. Lori Andrews, I think they're both. Deborah's in Boston, Lori's down in Los Angeles. I was starting to listen to them, and they're wonderful. But it's something about Dorothy and Alice that just spoke to my spirit still even now, where I keep a picture of them close to either my purse. Sometime I'll set it out depending on where I am, because I feel like I need that ancestral, you need to have somebody to be around a sister so I can flex a little bit.
Right. So let me ask you this, because a lot of us are not familiar with the harp, including myself.
Well.
All right. What is it made of? Can we start there? Is that a dumb question?
That is not a dumb question. It is a fair question, because I often hear folks saying, oh, yeah, she played a golden harp. Oh, my God, it was gold.
Right.
So my particular baby here is made by a company called Salvi, which is a company out of Italy. So she's an import out of Italy. And this particular company, this harp here that I have, the wood, at least the outer portion of it, is maple laminate, Italian maple wood laminate, hardwood. And then the soundboard is usually made out of what's called Sitka spruce. And so the harps are generally made out of wood. I would say at least the acoustic ones that I choose to play.
Okay.
There are others that are solid state that might be made with some other composite.
Okay.
I enjoy the feel and the sound of wood. So mine is made out of, as I was sharing, Italian maple, Sitka spruce on the soundboard, and as well as the harmonic curve, that beautiful curve, and then the front pillar. All of that is made out of wood.
All that's made out of wood.
Yeah.
Wow. That's handmade, obviously.
Yes.
Right. And then, so are the strings, what type of material are the strings?
That's an excellent question. So I'm going to turn around. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so that top portion, those little short ones up there,
yes,
those are made out of, they're made out of nylon, some nylon composite.
Oh, okay.
Then right in here, right in that middle section right there, that's gut. And I don't know what kind of animal gut it is, but it's made out of gut. from what I have learned is that gut has right in there has a beautiful warm tonality, and that's why it's right there in the center to keep the warm sound of it.
Got it.
Then as we get further down in here, the metal ones, all of those are, from what I've been told, is that they are a composite of that nylon wrapped in some other fiber,
Okay.
and then wrapped in metal so you can get a deeper bass tone.
Oh, got it. So is it like from low to high?
Yes.
Okay. And are the strings? I'm asking it because I really don't know.
I appreciate the questions.
I'm just as fresh out of the box as a 2-year-old right now. So,
The mind of a child.
right. So are the strings a different thickness?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
All right. And
Yes.
is it thicker out or in?
It's thicker out. As you get to the deeper, you got thicker strings, and then those tinier ones, as you get further to the top very portion of
Right.
here, known as the shoulder, those are going to be slightly thinner but very strong.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. And then it has some kind of clips for is that how you tune? Is it?
Exactly. Well, I hear you on that. So I play what is known as mine is a semi-concert grand that has pedals at the bottom.
Oh,
and so the portion that you're calling those are clips, I'm trying to remember what those are called, that keeps the strings tight and in place. On the opposite side of those, I have what I think I have it here, as a matter of fact. This is my tuning, Rich.
That's a tuner?
This is a tuner.
I didn't know if you was going to hit me with that.
Watch your mouth now. Watch it. And on the opposite side, when I'm tuning, I will, if the pitches are off a little bit, I will tune. So I have an electronic tuner that's on my phone, and I check the pitch, and I usually check the pitches in what's known as fifths.
Oh.
And then we tune it up. And then when we change, because many of us change your own strings, that's another part of the job of being a harpist. It's being able to change your
Wow.
own strings.
Right.
That's a whole skill in itself, and y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And so we use that to bring the pitch up or tune it down a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. So that's like a tuner.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And just another question. Are they all the same size?
No.
There's different size harps.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This size is what? Would it be in between, larger?
This is called a semi-concert grand, so it's just a maybe half a step below a full concert grand, which will have the soundboard will be slightly larger, sometimes a little bit larger, because it's said that sound projects more, especially when working in larger symphonic positions. You're playing with maybe 40 other musicians.
Okay.
And so it's alleged to bring more sound. Mine has got a slimmer body, and it's called a semi-concert grand.
Oh, wow. Such an impressive instrument. I love it. It's like when I see that, all I see for me is stay away from that. That's all I see is you don't want none of that. That's not up your alley. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to take a short break. I'm excited to have Destiny Muhammad. When we come back, she's going to play for us. I'm so excited. And stay tuned. Don't go back. Season 3. Guys, tune in. Oh, one more thing. Where can people find you?
You can go to my website, destinymuhammad.net. Social media, Instagram, Destiny Muhammad Music. TikTok, Destiny Muhammad Music. I think those are the ones right there. Facebook is probably going to be Destiny Muhammad or Harpist from the Hood. And I'm on X, but not as much as those platforms right there.
Got it.
Yeah.
You all heard it. Don't leave. We'll be right back. Season 3, Kimball Hooker, Destiny Muhammad. We'll see you.
Good Gratitude Day. My name is Destiny Muhammad. I'm going to play a composition by Freddie Hubbard, the composer Freddie Hubbard, that was actually covered by one of my harp moms, Dorothy Ashby. So I'm going to do a little bit of something. I pray to do it justice, and I thank you all for allowing me to do that. fun, huh? So I wrote this song. I'm going to share with you a composition that I wrote, about a decade and a half ago. We had a friend. We had a friend whose parents were in an incredible car crash. And the mother wasn't expected to make it. Well, it was really the father who wasn't expected to make it, but the mother was doing great. But we know the infant is all there is, and decided to call the mother home, and the father remained. I walked this earth on so many days, looking back at yesterday, searching for a brighter tomorrow. I am a church-born child, traveling country miles, red dirt in my hair. Knew one day it's gonna be Sunday. I'd be walking on water on Sunday, walking on water on Sunday. I'm gonna be walking on water on Sunday, walk on water on Sunday. Time went on and I grew strong, fell in love and we joined hands together forever. Two became a family, rich in love and jubilee. I knew one day it's gonna be Sunday. I'd be walking on water on Sunday, walking on water on Sunday. I'm gonna be walking on water on Sunday, walk on water, walk on water. Got a call from on high. Lord said it's time to take a new journey. By the time you get to me, it's gonna be Sunday morning. I got a call from on high. Lord, Lord, time to take a new journey. By the time you get to me, it's gonna be Sunday. Walk this earth on so many days, looking back at yesterday, searching for a brighter tomorrow. I'm a church-born child, traveling country miles, red dirt in my hair. I knew it's gonna be walking on water on Sunday, walking on water, child, on Sunday. I'm gonna be walking on water on Sunday, walk on water, walk on water. I'm gonna be walking on water on Sunday, walk on water, child, on Sunday. I'm gonna be walking on water on Sunday, on water, on water, on water. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was amazing. We're back here on the Kimball Hooker Show with Destiny Muhammad, my favorite guest, my special guest, harpist from the hood.
Yeah.
Listen to that music. Come on, you guys. You guys got to make some noise for that. We loved it. We're back here on season 3. We're about to dig back into this interview and ask her some more questions. That was amazing, Destiny.
Thank you so much.
You look so happy.
This is my life.
You look like you was on planet Pluto. Like no one could touch you.
That's
you know, that's how you look when you play, and I could feel it.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
I can feel it. Um, Back to this instrument. I was looking at you play, and I had a few more questions about the instrument itself while you were
Please
playing.
ask.
I noticed that it's sectioned off by with the red. What do the red strings mean?
Oh, so what those are octaves.
Oh,
So you've got the red and then you have the dark blue. And so the all of the red ones, at least on my harp and I think several of my contemporaries, the red is always going to be C. And then the dark blue is always going to be F. And so we navigate ourselves through all of that. So it just goes C D E F G A B C D E F G A B C D E F G A B C D E F G.
so is it guitar like, or not really?
That's it's interesting because yes and no.
Okay.
It is the ancestor of the piano. And so if you ever give yourself permission, look on the inside of a piano and all of those strings with all of the padding on that, that's the origin, that portion of it at least harkens back to the instrument known as a harp. And also, if you look at any old movies of Harpo Marx, I think there was one where he's actually pulling a harp out of the piano, which to me is very symbolic, if you
Okay.
will.
Right. Okay. And I noticed you were using your feet.
Yes.
What is that?
So on the bottom of my semi-concert grand, there are 7 pedals. There are 3 on my left hand and 4 on the right hand. And those pedals allow me to change the pitch. Each pedal goes into 3 positions.
Okay.
So they goes into flat, natural, and sharp. And so I have to, many of us call it harp choreography because we are changing the pitch so we can change. For instance, when you asked me to play, Freddie Hubbard's Little Sunflower. For me, at least, it starts out in D minor, but then there's that middle section where I actually have to flip both my B flat and E flat,
Okay.
so that I can get that keep the continuity of his original composition,
Okay.
and then flip them back down and then go into D major.
Okay.
So,
Right.
it's harp choreography. So there's a little bit of theory and a whole lot of practice in order to create those compositions, and that's just one of many compositions that require us to think with our feet.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that's you got a lot going on. You got both your hands, you got both your feet, a lot of dexterity. What is the learning curve? I know she's laughing at me. She said that's a joke. What is the learning curve for someone who might want to say, you know what, I'll try it. Or that looks interesting, a child, a kid, someone who would look at that and look and maybe intimidated by it. What is the learning curve? Not to get excellent, but to kind of say, I kind of know what I'm doing.
It's interesting that you would share that, as I'm currently reading a book. One book says talent is overrated, and within that book is another book that's called Bounce, and it's literally almost talking about the learning curve and the 10,000 hours of practice. What are you willing to give up?
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
What are we willing to give up to have some level of competency and excellence? There are millions of talented people, but Steve Memmel, who's an incredible vocal coach, says this: if your talent can't take some technique, it's weak. I was like, ouch, ouch, ouch. So there are a lot of talented people, but what are you willing to give up to take the talent to the next level? Because sometimes what is required is to have an opportunity to push oneself to go next level.
Oh my goodness.
You understand what I'm talking about?
You was talking to
don't
me. You was talking to me. A lot of your fans, myself, but I took something from that myself.
Word.
Absolutely, I did.
Word. You ever meet someone and maybe you all were moving on the same trajectory with your talent, and this person just seemed to be a natural? As a matter of fact, let's talk about Kobe Bryant.
Boy.
Kobe Bryant, Mamba.
Right.
Kobe spoke of ancestor Kobe. He spoke of not being anywhere near as good as he had become. And he said that he had been thrown off the court. The kids laughed at him, yada. And it was over that summer. He took that whole 120 days to sharpen himself, because he knew where he could be, and where he was not where he wanted to be. But there were others that were way talented. When he came back that summer, he put them on notice.
Right.
And this is the thing. What time are we willing to take with ourselves and to work on all of that inner conversation about ourselves, and willing to start from the foundations? This is a C. This is a D, E. Where are we willing to go? As I share with you, when I came to both Paula St. John and Stephanie, I'm an adult paying for my own lessons.
30, right.
I'm 30 years old. And I remember, I forgot to tell you this about Stephanie. I said, she tells me the book that I'm going to need, and then she says, okay, we're going to start with Twinkle, Twinkle. And I said, excuse me, I don't know if you looked at me, but I'm 30. She said, I don't care.
Wow.
If you are all of my students, start with Twinkle, Twinkle. And if you don't like it, you can bounce. Baby, I hit that Twinkle, Twinkle.
Right. Right. You made it your own. Whoa.
I made it my own. Years later, when I started study jazz with ancestor Khalil Shaheed, the founder of Oaktown Jazz Workshop, I wasn't allowed to get on the stage with his younger students, but I sat in the back, and this man, Sharnette Moffett, ancestor, incredible bassist. He taught the fundamentals of jazz using Twinkle, Twinkle. I ain't been right since.
Wow.
It was so beautiful that I still use and honor him by saying, I learned this from him about the foundations of this one idea of taking Twinkle, Twinkle and turning it into a jazz composition.
Twinkle, Twinkle.
Dude.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to talk about that Twinkle, Twinkle.
Yo.
Talk to me.
Twinkle, Twinkle has 115544. That especially for jazz artists, going from the 1 to the 5, 1 to the 4, 3, 2, 1, coming back down, even being able to say that out loud to myself. I remember when I was just learning that, and I was like, wow, the origins of that for Twinkle, Twinkle. And then when you flat that 7th, going into that C, then you have a whole nother sound.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? So I'm thinking about that, and the ability to apply that. Here is this ancestor, Sharnette Moffett, saying, try this.
Right.
There are so many gems within it.
Wow.
Let alone the myriad of beautiful jazz compositions. But within it, let's start there and move on to others.
Right. That's amazing. You still kept that from so many lessons ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It never got away from you. Like,
No.
I'm beyond that. I'm too big for that. No, you kept it with you.
What I've found as I've matured, not old, but vintage.
Right. I love that.
Right? Is that we don't get away from the foundation.
Right.
We don't. Some folks do. I don't get away from the foundation, because I know if I ever get lost, when I go back to the foundation is the mother.
Right.
And everything else is the child. And the mother will always tell me what it is the child is trying to say.
Right, right. Talk to me about, is there any memorable, I should say, a show or concert that you've done?
Ooh.
I know there's so many.
There are so many. I'll share this with you because we've all just come through this incredible experience called COVID. And this is very heartfelt. During COVID, as you know, all of the musicians,
that put a hit on everybody.
That put a hit on everybody. And so what we did, as you probably did as well,
Right.
we went to social media in order to continue to stay in contact with our guests.
Right.
And so I did, what was it? I think 59 stories in 59 days, every day at about 9 p.m. I was only going to go on for 20 minutes. I wound up being on for an hour. I would tell a story, play some music, chat it up with the folks in my live stream. So we flash forward. The Hillsburg Jazz Festival had invited me to be an artist in residence. And as a part of that, at the closeout, they asked me to come in to bring in my trio. And so there was an audience, and I chose to do Q&A with the audience. It was a daytime date. I said, I might as well ask them some questions. And here was one young man in the audience with his wife and his son. And he stood up with tears in his eyes. He said he had COVID so bad that he thought he was going to die.
Oh, my gosh.
he said, but he would tune in every night to hear the stories, and that kept him alive.
Wow. Look at the people you touch. These are the people you don't even know.
I didn't know this
Right.
young man. And so this is one of many stories, but this is the one that comes right to the forefront. How many people did we help move through COVID?
Right. Right.
Whether they caught it or not, to say it's going to be all right. Who we're going to be after this experience is going to be, I pray, even more humane, although, Lord, put a watch before my mouth. But there was this level of humanity that I felt happened during COVID, and there's still a portion of it that still trickles on, and I see people's generosity still in some forms of full effectiveness.
Music is a healer.
Yo.
It's a universal language.
Yes.
It's a healer, and I don't know anyone that is not touched by music in some way, shape, or form. Now, it comes in different ways. Some people like country, blues, jazz. There's all kinds of music, but music.
Yo.
He said, "I love music," right? Oh yeah, any kind of music.
Yeah, any kind of music.
Right, and it really does, because something about it puts you in the mood, right? And it sets the stage for your life. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's happy, and it's a mood changer.
It's a soundtrack.
It's a soundtrack to your life.
It's a soundtrack. For some folks, their soundtrack is baby, 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 dun, 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 dun,
Right.
dun, dun. Sometimes, for me, it is a soundtrack, and that soundtrack has ebbs and flows within it.
Right. Right.
It just has its own. I remember once I have a friend who lives in Southern California, and she was going through a tough time. And so this is when, vinyl is back, as
Right.
you know. She put on, I think, Tremaine Hawkins, and played that album every day.
Wow.
To get her jump started and motivated
Wow.
to move through the rest of her day.
Music. What does Destiny Muhammad listen to on her off time? If you have any off time.
Right? How about this? I love that. And it's not like off time, but I enjoy to listen to a couple of radio stations. But I will share with you, there is this incredible vocalist by the name of Diane Reeves.
Oh.
Right? Now all you have to say is, oh.
Yeah.
And when I was starting to really to get out there, I would put on her live. I don't even remember the name of the venue. And I would put it on as I was ironing clothes, and just hear her deliver stories with this beautiful voice of hers. And it's a live album that I think she got a Grammy for. Her cousin, who's since gone on to be an ancestor, beautiful pianist. Oh, his name is going to come to me. But she has a song called Grandmother's Song. And she's telling the story. The recorded version is great, but the live version is you can feel her talking about her grandmother as she's singing the stories of her grandmother. I'd listen to that. I listened to it so much, there was no more music on the CD. I had literally had to.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I have to look that one up.
Yeah.
I definitely have to look that one up.
Yeah, and it's the live version. And I love to go in the studio. There is something that happens live. If you think of Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Gratitude album that's live.
Right.
Oh.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah.
I tell the young people, you don't know good music. And if you're not listening to music from the 70s, from a certain time period, you don't know good music, because this stuff they playing today, I said it. I did say that. I got 10 toes down on that.
Oh.
If it's not some Al Green or something old school like that, OJ's or something from the old school, because they talking about something. They singing about something. It's a lot of pain in that music. So I suggest that you open your mind up and be able to say, you know what? I'm going to open my mind and listen to a new generation of music.
Word.
Right.
Yes.
You learn something.
Word. I love the opportunity of it being intergenerational, because I hear what you're saying. Sometimes I hear my children, if you will, singing. I'm going, ooh, God bless you, honey. Is it really like that?
Yes.
You really like that? Are you really about that life? Or you
Right.
just singing it just because it sounds fun?
It's fashion.
It's fashion. If you had to live that life, B.B. King said, I want to live the life that I sing about
Ooh.
in my song. And so for me, songs are affirmations. So do you really want to live that life?
There wouldn't be any artists left if that was true statement. All right, next. Next. Wouldn't be no artists left.
Word.
See?
And but I do give myself permission to listen. Even, and I go back to Diane Reeves. I recall when she actually quoted Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly."
Wow.
And she says there is something about this young man.
Right.
She felt that, and of course, that was years before.
Right.
Not Like Us.
Right. Brought it to life.
Word. And so I say give ourselves permission to at least listen to some of our younger contemporaries who are embodying older spirits to bring it to a new generation, who are cross-pollinating, again, jazz and hip-hop, who are listening to Gil Scott-Heron.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
And bring it home.
Dude, and reinterpreting it based on who and what they say they are in this moment.
Right. And they're living testimony, and they're living what they're playing and singing.
Yo.
It's a real life right there. Let's talk to us a little bit more about, like, where will you be playing?
I have some dates at Grace Cathedral coming up. I have a date as a part of the Santa Cruz Symphony, so I have some dates that I'm part of their I was going to call it the Masterclass series, but it's not the Masterclass series. It's like they have this series of events that they host other musicians. I'm a part of that, and oh my gosh, a recording session coming up in January.
You're busy.
I'm blessed.
You're blessed.
I'm blessed. Busy isn't, I want to use the word blessed.
We're going to use the word blessed here, right? Yeah. Where can you be found again?
You can go to my website, destinymuhammad.net, destinymuhammad.net, and you can find out where I'm going to be on the planet. You can also go to IG, Destiny Muhammad Music, and I'm very fond of TikTok, Destiny Muhammad Music there.
I see your videos on TikTok. I love them. I share them.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
There's something just amazing. When you play, it's like it's infectious. It is infectious. People see that and they go, you know what? I want to go see her. That's why everybody go check it out. Go to the website. You go see her in person. She's fun. She loves to play the harp.
I do.
Oh my goodness. There's so much more I want to talk about. We are out of time here on the Kimball Hooker Show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We love you. We love your music, what you represent, what you stand for.
Bless you.
Thank you for blessing K-Cat with your talent and giving us the opportunity to say we had Destiny Muhammad at K-Cat on the Kimball Hooker Show here in Montessorino and Los Gatos with talent. She's so talented and gifted. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for having me. I'm honored to be here at K-Cat.
And we will be out of here in the next 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm Kimball Hooker. This is Destiny Muhammad playing her beautiful harp. Go check her out one more time. Where can you be found?
DestinyMuhammadMusic.net, IG, DestinyMuhammad.net, IG, Destiny Muhammad Music, and TikTok, Destiny Muhammad Music. I'll see you there.
All right. Till then, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Peace.
You just heard the Kimball Hooker Show here on KCAT Radio. Explore all our KCAT original programming at kcat.org/radio.